What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So, Michigan State basketball concludes their West Coast road trip going 2-0 with a 68-52 win Tuesday night in Oregon. Now, this was a game that was touch and go for a lot of that first half. Michigan State only up by two in the first half, but Michigan State able to get it going in the second half, winning that second half by 14 points and really getting that offense flowing. Damiso talked about it post game. The offense just kind of looked stagnant in the first half, wasn't moving as well, and a lot of the second half was really good ball movement. We saw Oregon go to a zone at times, and we've known Michigan State, struggling with the zone both this year over the last couple of years as well. Struggled against the zone. We know that was a big part of the Duke game going back to December. Some other teams that switched to a zone that caused some trouble for Michigan State, but they were able to do some good things against the zone in this one, and just overall. I mean, and look at it. At the end of the day, Oregon is banged up without their two best players, but they put up quite a fight as they did just a couple days ago against that school down the road as well. And as we went through their schedule in the preview, against all the pretty good opponents that they've played this year, they have put up a fight. They did just that tonight. Just Michigan State, too much in the second half, both defensively and getting the offense going. And then we'll get into it as we get to the Michigan State side of things. But Cohen Carr and Carson Cooper, I think for both of them, this was both of their best games in Spartan uniforms. And you needed it because, again, Jackson Kohler struggled again in this one, struggled on this two-game West Coast road trip. Jeremy Fears struggled in the first half, was able to get it going in the second half and close it out for Michigan State. But before we do jump in, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. We'll have more Michigan State basketball content on the channel, so just make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So we'll just talk about Oregon here. Starting out, first off, Takai Simpkins for them was their leading scorer, and he was kind of leading the way for them overall in 33 minutes. He 15 points, 7 rebounds as well for him. Kwame Evans Jr. Got a lot of shots up. Michigan State able to just make him inefficient. He was 3 for 13 for 6 points overall. Got 4 boards. Sean Stewart, who had a really good game against that school down the road, able to hold him to 5 points. Devon Pryor threw in 2 points. Wee Lin, 7 points, 3 turnovers in this one. And then you look at the bench, 2 points from Luke Johnson. Dzedric Lindsey, 5 points, 4 assists for him. Oleksandr Kobazetsky, I know I said that last name wrong. I apologize, but 3 points for him. Got a 3 to go. And then Aggie Demir, 4 points, 3 rebounds. Drew Carter, 3 points and 2 rebounds for Oregon. And as we said, Michigan State just defensively. I mean, we talked about it there. Whatever metric you look at, Michigan State is number 1, number 2 overall in overall defense in college basketball, and that kind of showed up again, holding this team. Oregon, 252 points. We talked about their averages, kind of where they were at. Not one of the higher scoring teams overall, in the country, in the Big Ten, whatever. But especially when you're down to your 2 best players who both get you 15, 16 points a game, it was a struggle to score the ball, especially when you're playing against the, number 1 defense in the country overall. So Michigan State able to do that, hold up to 39% from the field, 35% from 3, actually solid. Overall numbers. You'd take that for Oregon just, with the field goal numbers the way they were. And then 45% from the free throw line for Oregon is tough. Only grabbed 24 rebounds. Michigan State wins that battle by 7 there. 10 assists to 10 turnovers for Oregon. 6 steals, 4 blocks for them overall. But we'll switch it over to the Michigan State side of things. And the Walton twins got in at the end of this game. So did Nick Sanders as well. But a couple things to look at here for the Michigan State bench. Denim Wojcik, he got his 3 minutes in. He turned the ball over once. It was kind of a miscommunication, if I remember the play right. But overall, he came in, did his job to get Jeremy Fears a couple minutes there. Jesse McCullough, 7 minutes in this one. He got a 3 up, and it was kind of a time where Michigan State was kind of searching for offense, and he kind of just had to get the ball up there. But 1 rebound, 1 assist for Jesse overall. Solid enough minutes for him. You look at the freshmen, Jordan Scott, Cam Ward. Jordan Scott, 9 minutes in this one, but he had foul trouble in the first half. He was 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. It was a bad shot, hit the side of the backboard. But just not Jordan Scott's night overall. Cam Ward, his 16 minutes, 2 points, was a nice finish at the rim, 4 rebounds for him on the night, his 1 turnover. But Kurt Tang, who has had a solid stretch here, but he had 2 fouls as well. He didn't get any shots up in this game. He had a turnover. But yeah, just didn't get any clean looks. I think Oregon kind of keyed on him a little bit well. Didn't let him get any clean looks in this one. But the star off the bench tonight is Trey Ford. He came in 15 minutes, most minutes that he's had in a while here, and he delivered 9 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 1 for 2 from 3 overall. Only turned the ball over once, and I thought he was solid. He had a foul, and it was kind of not even really his fault. He was coming off of a screen. He kind of got tripped up and fell into the Oregon guy, to give him the 3 free throws. But overall, Trey Ford, as I said, he was he was the star coming off the bench today, and happy to see that for Trey Ford. I mean, just kind of hanging around, not getting a lot of minutes and, whatnot throughout, really throughout this whole year, but especially over this last stretch here. And, come in, hit his shots too, and confidently hit his shots as well. That's big, and that could do, dividends going forward. If, the offense isn't going, because when he came in, he was doing that. The offense wasn't going. I mean, Jeremy Fears and Jackson Kohler, I think both of them had, 2 points. I mean, Jax had 2 points for the game, which we kind of, we'll get to that here in a second. But Jeremy Fears, we talked about, got it going in the second half. But when Trey Ford came in, Michigan State needed offense. They were in a back and forth battle in the first half, and he was able to knock down a couple shots for Michigan State to kind of help get things rolling. But with that, we'll move to the starting lineup. Divine Ugochukwu continuing to attack the basket. I really like how aggressive he's getting attacking the basket. And finding his seams, especially when these teams are going to a zone, and you can kind of get a couple passes going, swing, get him up at the top of the key, and kind of get him into one of those seams right down the lane, going to the basket. I think he's doing a good job doing that. If not finishing at the rim, then getting fouled, going to the free throw line. 7 points in this one, 3 for 5 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3 as well. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Did turn it over twice, but solid night overall. Didn't get to the free throw line, but solid night for Divine overall. As we said, Jackson Kohler struggled on this West Coast trip overall. This one, 2 points, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3 overall. 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover for Jackson. Just couldn't get it going. I think Oregon, I'll give them credit. You got to give them credit on that, making, he didn't have any clean looks. Like a lot of stuff that Michigan State's ran over the last couple weeks has been getting good, Jackson Kohler action with some pick and pops and pick and slides and whatnot, and just wasn't able to get to that action tonight. And even when they did the last time out against Washington, wasn't able to hit them. And he had some decent looks, but not super clean looks by any means. And you have to credit Oregon for making that tough. And Jeremy Fears, 32 minutes in this one, 14 points, 5 for 12 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and 5 assists to no turnovers. That's huge, with 2 steals and a block as well. And like we said, kind of took over in the second half, or really kind of help take over, because the next 2 guys we're going to talk about, as I kind of said at the top, I think it was their best games in Spartan uniforms. But Jeremy Fears really turned it on the second half, struggled in the first half, but just kind of doing what he does, running the offense and whatnot. But then, he kind of struggled when Michigan State was kind of just passing the ball around, wasting, 27 seconds of the shot clock. And he kind of got the ball, kind of a grenade at the last second, and he had to kind of make a couple shots, 3 or 4 times, not get up fantastic looks at the rim. But I think that kind of changed a little more in the second half, and we were able to see what he's done over the last couple weeks, and use his speed and strength and ability to kind of get to the lane and closer to the block and be creative with his finishes and whatnot, hitting even those mid-range jumpers as well. So solid night for Jeremy Fears defensively too, just bringing that intensity resonates through the whole team. But then Cohen Carp, as I said, I think this was his, he's had higher scoring games, but I think just overall, when you look at everything, I think this was his best game as a Spartan. There's only one thing you can really critique, but 27 minutes, 15 points, 6 for 9 from the field, and 3 for 5 career high from the 3-point line. The only thing you can critique, 0 for 3 from the free throw line, but 8 rebounds as well, and he was attacking the glass incredibly. 3 assists as well, and no turnovers, had 2 blocks as well. As I said, I mean, if you get this Cohen Carr every night, as we've kind of said before, if you get this Cohen Carr every night, the ceiling continues to raise for this team. And I'm not saying he's going to hit three threes every night, but just the confidence to take those. And even if it's not going, we talk about his mid-range game, stepping into that kind of mid-range elbow jumper that it seems like he's getting more confident with over the last, kind of week or two. But then also getting down to the paint on the block and finishing at the rim. We saw that a couple times in this game as well. That's just huge going forward for both Cohen and for Michigan State in general. And then Carson Cooper as well. I think his best game is a Spartan as well. 33 minutes, 19 points, 8 for 10 from the field, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, turned it over twice, but had a steal and 4 blocks as well. And he was really providing a lot of the offense when Michigan State was struggling. And yes, it wasn't just the lobs. I don't even, trying to remember back, I don't even think he had one of the, he might have had one of the Jeremy to Carson lobs in this game, like that we've come accustomed to, but he was just finishing like athletic, step through underneath the basket finishes. He had 1 or 2 of the mid-range games that we saw a lot against Washington as well. Just overall, an incredible game from Carson Cooper. And, overall, as we said, kept Michigan State, in this game when it was kind of back and forth for a while. But then in that second half, him and Cohen and Jeremy really kind of just really helped to, push this thing over the finish line and get this lead to where it was at, because it was still back and forth for a while there, and they helped push us over the top. And Carson, I'd say Carson and Trey and Cohen really kept it going in the first half for Michigan State. Then in the second half, it was Carson, Cohen, and then Jeremy coming to the party as well in the second half as well to really help push this to the line with Trey as well. Solid game overall, but as I said, for Cohen and Carson, I think this was their best game as Michigan State Spartans. So that's definitely a positive going forward. And when you look at the overall stats for both these teams, I mean, Michigan State, 57% from the field compared to 39 for Oregon, 35% for both teams. Both shot 7 for 20 from three-point range. Michigan State only got 9 free throw attempts up in this one. They were 5 for 9 compared to 5 for 11. That's 56% and 45% overall for these teams. 31 rebounds for Michigan State compared to 24 for Oregon. Oregon did out-rebound Michigan State on the offensive side of the glass. 6 rebounds compared to 7. Michigan State then obviously wins the defensive side, 25-17. 16 assists for Michigan State compared to 10 for Oregon. 3 steals compared to 6, and 7 blocks compared to 4. 12 turnovers, a little bit on the higher side, but not the numbers that we've, seen at times for Michigan State. 10 turnovers for Oregon, 12 points are turnovers for Michigan State, and 12 for Oregon as well. 10 fast break points for Michigan State compared to 2 for Oregon. And then something that we talked about coming into this one, the paint points. Michigan State, 30 paint points in this one compared to 20 for Oregon. And Michigan State had that lead up to 18 at one point. Oregon did have a 3-point lead as well at one point in this game. Now, Michigan State finishes this West Coast road trip 2-0. Talked about it last year, obviously, coming into the West Coast road trip 0-2 last year. So nice flip of the script this year in this one. And now you head home for a battle against Maryland, which you are currently heavy favorites in, and you will be when you go on the road to Rutgers as well next week. We got Saturday and Tuesday before the Friday matchup against that school down the road. So Bart Torvik has this one. Game score of 97 for this one. Last 2 times out, Oregon and Indiana, or Washington and Indiana, should I say, were both a game score of 97. So solid overall game from Michigan State after struggling that first half, but getting things going here in the second half to close out this West Coast road trip 2-0, and overall move to 17-2 and 7-1 in the conference. So that'll do it for this one. We'll be back with a preview for that Maryland game here on Saturday, but that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.